The trustee.
Sir, you need to stop. You're being in contempt of court. You need to stop, or I'll have the officer assist you in stopping. All right, Missy.
False imprisonment.
I want you to stop talking, or you can go upstairs to the county jail. Now, do you want to go to jail tonight? The second.
No, I also have a right to understand the nation's cause of this. I have a right to understand the nation's cause.
If you don't want to listen to me, you can go to jail.
I'm not being disruptive. I'm just trying to understand the nature and cause of the charge.
All right, officers, I'm gonna close.
What am I doing? I'm sitting here trying to understand the charge.
If he gives any more grief.
Your Honor, can I please go home? Your Honor, can I please go home? I'll leave.
All right, guys. Today we're dealing with one of the most clueless sovereign citizens we've ever seen on this channel. This guy landed in court for two pretty basic things: driving without insurance and speeding. But instead of handling it like a normal person, he treats the whole thing like it's a big joke. He's looking at real jail time, and he's out here arguing with the judge like they're buddies debating who gets the last slice of pizza. Bro, this isn't a frat house, it's a courtroom. Let me know what you think. Is this guy just totally clueless, or is something seriously off upstairs? And how do you think the judge handled it? Personally, I think she showed way more patience than I ever could. Get ready. This guy loves tossing around nonsense legal jargon. Let's dive in.
Mr. Johnson, appearing in person and pro se. Your name tag on your uniform says Johnson, so I presume you are Mr. Johnson. Now, sir, if you could get right in front of that microphone. Thank you.
Can you hear me?
I can. Sir, yes. You're charged in count 1 with speeding 82 miles per hour in a 65 mile per hour zone. That is a traffic infraction. It is not a charge that carries any jail time. It has a scheduled fine, 82 and a 65. You're accused of operating your motor vehicle without proof of insurance. Now, if you had insurance but just couldn't find it, you can get the proof to the county attorney and she'll probably dismiss that charge. If, in fact, it had lapsed or something was happening so that you didn't have insurance on the vehicle at the time being January 4th, 2024, that is a B misdemeanor. The maximum penalties as far as jail time would be 6 months, although probation is usually granted. There is a mandatory minimum fine the court must impose of $300, but it could be as high as $1,000. You do have the right to hire any attorney of your choice. If you cannot afford an attorney, you can apply and see if you qualify for court appointed. You can waive your right to counsel and represent yourself. Another option, you might be able to apply for diversion. That is where you apply, and if the county attorney approves you for diversion, you would pay agreed upon fines, costs, get your insurance current, and pay a diversion fee, and she'd dismiss the charges and keep them off your record. If you want to talk about diversion or anything else with your attorney, you certainly will have the opportunity to do that. Your pleas, you have a choice of pleas. You can plead not guilty, and we can set this for trial at a later date. You can plead guilty, admitting the charge, and we would proceed with sentencing. Or you could plead no contest, which is neither admitting nor denying the charges, but you'd still most likely be found guilty and we'd proceed to sentencing. If you want to look into diversion, we'll enter a not guilty plea to give you time to do that. You can always change your plea, but once you're convicted, pre-trial diversion is off the table. So
probably not eligible for diversion based on his driving record.
Oh, okay. Well, do you want to talk to an attorney then and discuss whether or not you have a defense? Or?
No, Your Honor, I would like to request a declaratory judgment due to there is no agreement for my performance under any agreement or commission of this court.
Well, I don't need an agreement from you, sir. So if I were,
Well, Your Honor, I simply do not understand the nature and cause of the accusation with regard to the jurisdiction of the venue and nature of this action until the prosecutor properly alleges them there. I cannot enter a plea to the charge until I have the opportunity to raise a meaningful defense on my behalf.
You can literally see the tension building with Judge Webster. Her patience is draining right in front of us. This sovereign citizen really thinks throwing out buzzwords like freedom and jurisdiction is going to get him off the hook. Spoiler alert, it's not. The law is simple. If you're driving without insurance or a valid license, you're breaking the law. No made-up word salad is going to change that. And honestly, I don't know if these people are just deeply misinformed or straight up mentally unwell. Like, how do you get to a point where you actually believe you're above the law? Does anyone know where these folks are getting their info? Is there a secret YouTube rabbit hole I need to check out? Because it's getting out of hand. Anyway, just wait. This guy's about to escalate things and actually get aggressive with the judge. Let's jump back in.
all right, I will then, since you cannot enter a plea today, I will enter a not guilty plea for you and give you
I
time.
object, Your Honor. I object to you entering a plea to me because I must understand the nature and cause of these accusations. So I do not agree to you entering a plea on my behalf.
Well, your position is taken and I'm still going to do it. I will note your objection for the record, but I'm going to enter a not guilty plea.
Well, I object to you
Your
entering a plea
objection
on my
is
behalf.
noted. Your objection is noted, and if the time comes, you can appeal that to the Court of Appeals. Now, on the issue
Well,
of
who is,
attorney,
Your Honor, I would like to ask, who bring these charges against me? I should have the right to
all
question.
right, we're not going to have this debate right now. I've told you your
I would like to call the state to the stand, Your Honor.
We're not doing
The
that,
state bringing charges against me. Who is it? How did I injure the state?
All right, this is your first appearance. I advise you of your rights. I advise you of your charges and possible.
Your Honor, I object to the proceeding, for I do not know the nature and cause of the
I'm
proceeding.
entering a not guilty plea. Missy, when is?
I object to you entering I object to you entering a plea on my behalf. I do not grant you that right.
Missy?
The court
You're supposed to act as a trustee.
Sir, you
No.
need to stop. You're being in contempt of court. You need to stop or I'll have the officer assist you in stopping. Missy?
Well, Your Honor, I would like to also bring to
September
according to
27th.
USC 12203.
Deputy Miles.
And also
did you,
Article 3, the judge must operate in good faith and good behavior. So therefore, if you're making a threat towards me, then
Deputy,
that's
if he's going to
urging
keep
me to
being
perform in your
contentious, I'm going to
court.
have you take him into custody on contempt.
Then that would be illegal search and seizures, Your Honor.
Wouldn't you need to go back?
It will.
All right,
It's
Missy.
false
I
imprisonment.
want you to stop talking or you can go upstairs to the county jail. Now, do you want to go to jail tonight?
Your Honor, again, Title
Deputy
40,
Miles, could you
let's
come in and
see.
assist the defendant?
September 27th at 9 o'clock will be the court date.
September 27th, you said 9 o'clock?
Yes.
9 a.m. You must be back here, sir, in person at the courthouse, or you will be arrested for failure to
Your
come to
proceeding,
court.
Your Honor.
Now, that deputy there is going to take you into custody if you cannot control yourself through the remainder of this hearing.
I'm not doing anything. I'm just enforcing my right, Your Honor.
All right, so your first right is to have a hearing date, and that is September 27th, 9 a.m. The
Your
second
Honor, I
right,
also have a right to understand the nature of this.
This dude seriously cannot take a hint. If I were the judge, I would have hit him with 30 days for contempt right then and there. But major props to Judge Webster for staying composed. Most of us would have muted this clown or had him in cuffs already. Now here's the wild part. When he starts demanding to know the nature of the charges, he's technically right. That's part of due process under the Sixth Amendment, but the judge already explained the charges multiple times. He just refuses to listen. Instead, he acts like he's being dragged into some secret, underground trial that it's not even about the law anymore. It's pure stubbornness. The judge could have read him the charges backwards and in Spanish, and he still wouldn't get it. How much patience does this judge really have? Let's find out.
I have a right to understand the
All
nature
right.
of
If
cause.
you don't want to listen to me, you can go to jail. Do you want to hire an attorney or apply for court appointed?
No, I do not. I don't need to hire an attorney, Your Honor.
You want to represent yourself?
I don't need to hire an attorney. I would like for you as the judge, Your Honor, to explain to me the nature and cause of the.
All right, I'm not going to appoint an attorney if you don't want me to. If you want, you said you don't want to hire an attorney. If you want to apply for court appointed, the officers have forms there that you can fill out. If
I
you
just
don't
want to
fill them
understand the
out,
nature
I'm
and
going-
cause.
If you don't want to fill one out, I'm going to assume you don't want an attorney. And then if you come to court September 27th at 9 a.m., you're going to be representing yourself if you don't hire or apply for court appointed. And so you've got the third issue, does he have a bond? Looks like you do because you failed to appear February 27th at your first appearance. So bench warrant was issued, bond was set at $1,000 cash or professional surety. Looks like that was posted. Looks like you made a cash bond of $1,000. Does that sound right? You put up $1,000 cash back in July 12th?
I'm still trying to understand the nature and cause of this allegation, Your Honor.
I will continue your bond unless you get yourself hauled into jail on contempt before you leave. I will continue your bond with the condition that you reappear here in person at September 27th at 9 a.m. So you've got your court date, you've got your bond, and we've talked about your lawyer. Now, you're wearing a U.S. Army uniform with the name Johnson on it. Are you in or have you been in the United States military?
Your Honor, I'm still trying to understand the nature and cause of the allegation, Your Honor.
All right. If you can leave the courthouse now without any further disruption, I will let you do so. But I'm going to.
Your Honor, it is your oath to explain the nature and cause of the allegation against me. Are you failing to do that?
All right. You can either walk out the front door with the officers, or you can walk upstairs to the county jail with the officers.
Let me know in the comments, do you think this guy will finally leave like the judge told him to, or end up spending the night in jail? Honestly, it could go either way at this point. The judge gave him so many chances. She was practically begging him to just cooperate, but nope, he's glued to his little script like it's going to save him. Fun fact, this guy was actually in the army. Yeah, the same army that's government property. How does that even make sense for a sovereign citizen? I genuinely don't understand how he made it through the military acting like this. Because we all know that kind of nonsense doesn't fly there to this point. I'm seriously wondering if he's on something, or if there's just something really off mentally that let's dive back
I'm just trying
in.
to understand the nature and cause of the
All right,
charge.
officers, I'm gonna close.
What am I doing? I'm sitting here trying to understand the charge.
If he gives any more grief.
All I'm asking is to understand the charges. This is for the record. You said it's for the record, so I'm trying to understand what am I being charged?
The charges. Goodbye, sir.
I just want to understand the nature and cause of the charges, Your Honor. That's all I ask. It is your oath to give that.
With you. If you tell me what kind of questions you have, I'll be happy to answer them. But I've already told you.
Okay. Under what jurisdiction is the charges being brought to me under?
The state of Kansas has charged you with speeding 82 and a 65 and operating in a motor vehicle without liability insurance on January 4th, 2024 in Greenwood County, Kansas. You failed to appear for your first appearance, and a bench warrant was issued, and you were arrested, and you made a bond of $1,000 cash or surety, posting a cash bond. Now you have to go to court. and you have to answer those charges. You can
Your Honor, I
have
don't
a
know.
trial if you like, and the burden will be on the state of Kansas to either prove or disprove. If they can't prove it beyond a reasonable doubt, you're let go.
Well, I'm still trying to understand I know what jurisdiction am I being charged under, Your Honor. That's all I'm trying to understand.
You're being charged under the jurisdiction of the state of Kansas under its criminal
But
law.
according to the Constitution, there are only two
All right,
jurisdictions.
we'll have that on a later date. We'll be at recess, officers. Please escort him one way or the other, depending on his behavior.
But I'm still not understanding what you're charging me with.
Goodbye. We are adjourned.
But if she's the judge, I'm supposed to have clear and concise of what I'm being charged with.
The judge just said if you give us any problems with it.
I'm not giving y'all a problem. I'm trying to.
So you have put you in handcuffs and
Well, I'm waiting on this, Your Honor, to explain.
All right, Missy.
But that's it.
That's our last case on the docket, isn't it?
This is not good.
Yes.
Ms. Gillette, I'll see you at 3:30 docket.
Your Honor, can I please go home? Your Honor, can I please go home? I'll leave.
All right. Well,
Can I go home?
I left it up to them, and I left it up to you, and then they were to behave accordingly.
I have never seen a court case this bizarre. This dude was practically begging to go to jail. Maybe he's homeless and just wanted a place to sleep, who knows? The judge broke everything down for him, explained it all in the simplest terms. But he still didn't get it. Or refused to get it. He's the perfect mix of arrogance and delusion. Honestly, I wouldn't even be surprised if this is a case of stolen valor. Because the way this guy acts. There's no way he made it through basic training without getting kicked out, but let's look at the bigger picture here. Sovereign citizens are a massive drain on court resources. Judges, clerks, bailiffs, all of them are forced to waste time dealing with these ridiculous tantrums. Meanwhile, real cases that matter get delayed, and we, the taxpayers, foot the bill for the whole circus. It's frustrating. And sad. These people live in their own little fantasy world where laws don't matter, and reason doesn't apply anyway. What do you guys think about this whole situation? I think the guy was completely in the wrong, but the judge handled it pretty well. She gave him chances, kept it professional, and finally put her foot down. Even if it was a waste of time, it made for an interesting case. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. Thanks for watching. Take care, everybody.